Hello, let's talk about creatine. Is it a muscle building cheat code? Is it going to kill you, stunt your growth, or is it all overhyped? Picture this. I'm 15 and just started lifting. All my biggest friends are talking about creatine and how it helped them get big. I thought getting big sounded cool, but I wasn't about to put some random white powder in my body without a little research. So, I did some. First, what is creatine? Creatine is made in your body from the amino acids arginine and glycine, as well as a buttload of enzymes. But whatever, a ton of stuff in your body is made like that. What does creatine actually do? Well, I found this passage on the National Library of Medicine. The multifaceted mechanisms by which creatine exerts its beneficial effect include increasing anaerobic energy capacity and decreasing protein breakdown, leading to increased muscle mass and physical performance. That's a lot, so let's break it down. Basically, creatine lets us push harder in the gym and reduces muscle breakdown, meaning you get bigger. But don't get me wrong, creatine is a far cry from anabolics. It will help your performance, but it won't put slabs of muscle on your frame without any training. On average, you can expect somewhere between a 5 and 15% increase in strength that translates to an extra few pounds of muscle. Also, creatine pulls water into your muscle cells, giving them a fuller look, independent of the extra muscle growth. Because of this, people will usually gain between 2 and 5 pounds of water weight. If creatine has a negative impact on performance, it is usually on endurance athletes who suffer because of that slight weight gain. For athletes who need to make weight, this can be a problem. The recommendation is for people in this situation to still use creatine during their main training phase and stop at least 1 month before competition so they can get rid of the extra water. At this point, creatine sounded useful, but not if it came with organ failure and a receding hairline. So I went looking specifically for side effects. And I realized that on healthy people, creatine is one of the safest supplements out there. There is no good evidence that creatine stunts growth, no mechanism, and no long-term data showing it. Another huge fear I had was kidney damage. What the research actually shows is that in healthy individuals, normal creatine supplementation does not harm kidney function. Blood markers stay normal, and athletes who have taken creatine for years do not show higher rates of kidney problems. My other big fear was hair loss. This is the one everybody brings up, and I was especially scared because my dad's head might as well be a lighthouse. The hair loss fear comes from one study showing creatine might increase THT, dihydrotestosterone, which is basically super testosterone that can make men go bald quicker, but there is no strong evidence that creatine actually causes hair loss in people. The one thing you do have to be careful of is hydration. It is easier to get dehydrated on creatine, but luckily there's a simple solution. Just drink some water. As long as you're keeping up with your water intake, you should be fine. After understanding that it was moderately effective and safe, I wanted some. The only question was, what type of creatine should I use? The bottom line is that it doesn't really matter. The standard creatine monohydrate works as well as anything. The exception might be the more processed micronized creatine, which can help people who get stomach problems from regular monohydrate. So that was that. I added a batch of creatine to my Amazon cart, and it appeared 3 days later. That begs the question, how do you take it? Well, there are 3 traditional dosing methods. The first one is how they do it in many studies. 20 grams per day in 4 5-gram doses for 5 days, and then 5 grams a day. This loads the muscles the fastest, but can upset the stomach. A less aggressive protocol is 10 grams a day for 10 days, and then maintaining with 5 grams a day. It takes longer, but usually causes fewer stomach problems. The third method is to just take 5 grams a day and wait a little longer for it to accumulate. All 3 work, the only difference is speed. Also, creatine doesn't have acute benefits, so it is not necessary to take with your pre- or post-workout shake. But, if that's convenient for you, like it is for me, go ahead. I should also bring up responders and non-responders. Some people are just creatine non-responders. They get no performance improvement and no weight gain. If someone takes creatine in one of the dosing patterns and does not gain any weight, see any visual difference, or get an improvement in performance, they are likely a non-responder and shouldn't waste money on future batches of creatine. So, creatine works. It is supported by several hundred studies. It improves performance and is safe for most athletes. My recommendation is to buy a small amount that will get you through about 2 months worth of creatine. If you see improvements and think it's worth the money, great. Keep taking it. If you don't see improvements, so you don't think it's worth the money, stop taking it, and it's no big deal. If you take it and it upsets your stomach, you can stop, thug it out, or just try micronized creatine. Regardless of how it pans out, I think creatine's at least worth a try. Muscle Maurice, signing off.